Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Far out. You know, the last 7 days, I've been spending my time just recalibrating my life, myself, my goals, everything. And you know, I'm a really people person, right? I love being around people. It's why my parents live with me. It's why I love having all my cousins over, my friends over. That's when I'm the happiest, when the house is really noisy. That's what I really, really love, right? And when I've been thinking about it on this trip, I don't think for the last 29 years of my life, my entire life, I've had 7 days by myself, ever. And Steven Spielberg has this popular saying where he says that the you, the inner you, the real you, the you that you've known since you're young, when that you talks to you, it doesn't talk in a very loud voice. It whispers to you. And I think by having those 7 days to myself this trip, I've really been able to hear myself again. And I've been able to reconnect with me, the real me. And it's been one of the most healing things I've ever done in my life. I think it's been transformational for me because another quote that is in a movie that my friend reminded me of, and it's that life sometimes can move so fast that if you don't take a moment to pause and to put things on mute, you may miss it. And I think I'm one of those people that can move through life so fast that if I'm not careful, I'll miss it. And you know, I've also spent this time reading a lot, and I've chewed through 3 whole books, and I've read a book again that's really good, and if you haven't read it, you should read it. It's called 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. And one of the chapters talks about power and what true power really means, and true power is having the power to let go of power. And it talked a lot about these kings that used to rule, and it compared the kings that didn't know the limits to their power, that didn't have the power to give up power, and who continually wanted to conquer. Those kings always died really young. Whereas if you compared them to the kings who knew the limits of their power but also knew where to stop, they ruled out their entire lives and made real good changes to the kingdom that they ruled and lived happily ever after kind of thing. So it made me realize that I think I'm potentially right now one of those kings that don't know the limits to his power and continually want to conquer because of greed. And it scared me, it scared me because I don't want to lose the things I've worked for. And then it made me think, well, what are your goals, Vin? What do you want to achieve? And I've been working so hard and been running so fast that when I look back, I felt like, holy crap, the things that I actually wanted to achieve, I've achieved them. And that was a really scary thing to realize, you know? The things I want most in my life, I wanted to find a woman that I can love, that I can build a family with, and I found my dream woman, right? I wanted to buy my mum and dad a beautiful home and make sure that they never worried about money again, that they were financially free. And then I had the scary realization that you don't actually need that much money to be financially free. You don't have to be a billionaire. And then when I mapped all this stuff out, I'm like, holy crap, I've actually achieved all the things I've wanted to achieve. Yet I'm still working as if I haven't achieved any of those things. That I'm still running so fast and I don't need to be. It was scary realizing that. And also another thing that was really important was that I gave myself the freedom to be anyone I want to be on this trip, right? I sat down and I said, Vin, it's okay if you find out that you just want to be a pianist for the rest of your life after this. It's okay if you find out that you just want to be an artist and lock yourself away and draw for the rest of your life. I just created such a safe environment that no matter what I wanted to be, no matter what I discovered on this trip, for me, that it was okay. I stopped that critical voice in my head from always judging me the moment I want to do something. And it's been the most healing process because I've been able to ask myself the question, Vin, who are you now? You know who you used to be because of all the things you wanted to achieve, but now that you've achieved them, who are you now and what's next? Where to next? What's next? And it's okay, regardless of what that is. So for the last 7 days, I've created the most safe environment for myself to ask myself those questions. And I've mapped out myself, and it's been the most healing process. It's been I feel so good inside my heart and soul because I've done this. And this is why I'm even making this video, is because you need to do this. You watching this video, right? You have to do this. How far have you traveled in your life without recalibrating? Without looking back and going, do I still want that goal that I've been chasing for the last 10 years? I didn't recalibrate for 10 years. And I mean really recalibrate. I did these little moments of recalibration, but it was all BS, to be honest, right? I've never recalibrated like this. And you can only recalibrate like this when you have a good 7 days just to yourself, just by yourself. My friends, we spend so much money on nice shoes, nice clothes, nice cars, nice homes, yet we don't spend money on the very thing that can save our souls. I have so many friends that are so depressed and unhappy because they're always working, they're always pushing themselves. Because the entrepreneurial community and the entrepreneurial society that I live in, there is that really popular notion of hustle, work really hard, you know, when you don't have time, then make time, then take away from your sleep and all that stuff. And look, I subscribe to that philosophy too, I believe in that. But when you're working that hard, there are always these quiet moments when you're by yourself, and then your inner you asks yourself the question, why are you working so hard? Why are you doing this? And in those very moments, if you do not have a sufficient answer that is powerful enough, you will feel unhappy, you will feel drained, and you're gonna feel depressed. And I have so many friends who feel depressed because they're pushing themselves to the brink of their limits. And then when those quiet moments come, and they go, why am I doing this? They don't have a reason. And this is why you need to recalibrate, because when you recalibrate, you will know why. And if you recalibrate once a year, every single time those quiet moments come, and they will come, trust me, that it's coming, right? It's coming. When it comes, you have the answer. And when that critic asks you, why are you doing this? You tell them the 5 reasons why you're doing it. I have so much more clarity in my life now. I know exactly where I want to go now. And I know it with conviction. You know, so I highly encourage you to do this. Please do this like your life depends on it, because your life does depend on it. My friends, this is all I wanted to share. Recalibrate. Spend a week by yourself. Think about it. When was the last time you spent 7 days just by yourself? You deserve this. You need this.